Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in to my 40th episode of Project Renaissance Man. I can't believe it's the 40th episode already, but I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I also want to inform all of you that I'm no longer going to be on Facebook, like posting videos on Facebook. So if you do want to check out my videos, you can check them out on YouTube. And I know I may take a hit in viewership with this. But that's okay, because this is mainly about just getting a message out more than the viewership. That is always a bonus to me. Like, if I were to actually be able to monetize this, that'd just be a bonus. Because what really matters to me is being able to give you guys things that I feel are going to benefit you as well as myself, and so that we can become Renaissance men and Renaissance women. So I'm not worried about that at all, because the message is still going to get out there. But you just have to go on YouTube if you want to check out my videos. Okay, so on with today's subject. It's on creativity. I actually picked up a book a while ago, like probably over maybe 10 years ago. I was in this really cool place called Webster's Bookstore and Cafe out at State College, and I came across this one book that basically argued that with referencing a certain ideology that relates to the Bible, that creativity is meant to be practiced, and to not practice creativity is to be involved in committing a sin. So it's sinful to not practice creativity is basically what the argument is. And I don't know how sound the argument is in the book, but I can honestly say that without creativity, there's definitely a loss of a sense of fulfillment. We don't feel as whole a lot of times when we're not able to practice creativity, because creativity, if you really think about it, is freedom of expression. So that's something you can't silence, and you take that away from a person, it really has it can have detrimental effects. I think it's almost automatic that it would, and inevitable. So I'm going to speak on creativity. First I'm going to mention two different benefits that it possesses, but then I'm going to go on to give you guys a couple pointers on how to remain creative and continuously practice creativity. So the very first benefit is it allows you to think for yourself. It conditions you to think for yourself. When you're going outside the box, because you're thinking outside the box, you're practicing this way of thinking where you're thinking outside the box. So even if you sit down and you draw, you're practicing those muscles, the creative muscles, like trying to figure out what you want to do with what you're drawing, like how do you want it to look. And there's also a sense of discovery with this, because you don't know quite yet what it's going to look like. You're brainstorming, and brainstorming is free thinking, so there's freedom again, another practice of freedom and free expression. So thinking outside the box is a great benefit, because it does condition us to be able to think for ourselves, and creativity provides this. The second benefit that it has for us is we become more interesting people, because when we're creative, that bleeds out into other areas of our lives, like how we decide what we're going to do, and we become more creative with like our for example, our romantic lives. When we're with somebody that we love, we start to become more creative with like setting up events or doing things for them, like just random spontaneous things. So it really helps in that area as well, just becoming more interesting, because you're more apt to doing things once again outside the box, things that are unexpected. And that's really what it boils down to. It's random, and there's such a cool sense of discovery and anticipation that comes with the discovery, because the people that are around us are on the edge of their seats wondering what we're going to do next, and because we're very interesting. So okay, so now I'm going to give you the pointers on how to exercise this creativity regularly. The first one is to indulge in the arts. You don't have to be good at anything to enjoy it and to practice this freedom of expression. So this free expression. So for example, if you're indulging in the arts, you're practicing this. So there are a myriad of arts too that you can practice, and crafts. You can do woodwork, you can write, you can draw, you can make music, you can paint. It's endless, the things that we can do, and the ways that in which we can be creative. So yeah, it feels great to create something, even if it's not something that is like well drawn, or it's not something that is a Picasso or a Michelangelo. Just the fact that we did it and we like what we've done, we were able to express ourselves freely, and that's really what it comes down to more than anything, is the freedom of expression. Because there's no restraint on that, on creativity. You can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want to go, and there aren't any repercussions. I mean, at the most, maybe people don't like your stuff. So what? You're not going to go to jail because you decide to write. You can write almost anything, Now, the second pointer I have is to practice spontaneity in your life. This really helps with being creative and practicing creativity, because spontaneity and spontaneous practices, they operate on the same frequencies as being creative in art. They both possess the elements of randomness and discovery. And so when you practice spontaneity, it automatically helps assist with your creative process, because you're just being random. You're not confining yourself to a certain set of things that you're going to do. You're willing to get outside the box and do all kinds of things, and not put any limitations on those things, on what those things may be. The third pointer is to immerse yourself in the arts. So go to gigs, open mics, listen to music, check out different musicians, and check out museums, and just immersing yourself in this inspires, and that's what's so cool. All this inspiration crosses over. So even if I'm a writer, for example, if I listen to a piece of music, it can inspire me to write good writing. If I watch a really good movie, it can inspire me to write really good writing. If I see a painting, it can inspire me to write really good writing. So my point is, it doesn't have to be of your craft. So if you're a writer, you don't solely have to rely on good pieces of literature as a source of inspiration to write well. You can go across the borders and into other areas of art. So that's really all I have for you guys. But yeah, just be creative, and you will be amazed at how much happier you may become through doing so, and just more interesting as a person. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you all for tuning in to my 40th episode of Project Renaissance Man. If you guys feel you have benefited from this and you have enjoyed watching this video, please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give me a like. And I will see you all on Wednesday. Till next time.